Good afternoon. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tumi Tladi, and if this video is the first video of mine that you're currently watching, I'm gonna urge you to watch my other previous videos. Listen, if the content on this video, particularly this video, it's good, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions, thoughts, and subscribe. You want to subscribe before end of this video, trust me, because of what I'm about to show, and click on the notification bell to be notified of more content I'm about to upload. I believe this is video number 80. Let's see, currently I'm still in the midst of a web API series, and then I have two other series that I did. It's Solution Explorer, it's version control. Now I'm currently in the midst of web API series, and the next major series is going to be on Xamarin. And then yesterday I was thinking that I think out of that video I'm going to have about 100 videos out of that series, because I need to show every single thing, every single piece of information out of that Xamarin. Stay tuned for that one. So in our previous video we did on this video we did video uploads. We did this video upload, sorry, and now we're gonna do uploaded docs. So before I fire Firefox and all that, I want to go to Visual Studio. This project, just to remind you, is 2-in-1. It's both ASP.NET MVC and ASP.NET Web API. Both of them are .NET Framework, and this is .NET Core Web API. So I'm gonna start with this one. We're gonna go to Controllers, Web API, V1, and then Media. This one lives in Media. So I have two controllers. I have uploaded audios and I have uploaded docs. So I'm doing docs today, and then I'll do audios as soon as I get to audios. But right now I'm doing docs. As you can see that there's audio scheduled. Where is audio? Yes, uploaded audios scheduled. Okay, this video is gonna be relatively short and simple and sweet. So let's get down to business now. Wherever you see this kind of comment, I just have to remember why I commented out, but I only had one specific issue, then I had to comment this part out. I'll try to remember why. Okay, but let's start. This controller, it is the one that's responsible for, by the way, I'm going to use Firefox right now, and I'm going to show you the client dashboard, that main dashboard, and I'm going to upload an actual document. My phone is here with me. I cannot do a live demo right now, but I promise that I'm going to do live demo as soon as I get to Xamarin series. But I'm going to upload the actual document live, and you're going to see it popping on one of the dashboards I'm about to show. So pay attention. So this class, it's a controller we know for V1, and it inherits from API controller, so it's a normal API controller. This allows anonymous attributes and ensures that because my app can be used by people I don't even know, so I don't need to. A nice thing about my system, especially my app, you don't need to be authenticated. You just need to launch the app, look for the document, and then upload. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do in a few minutes. But this also shows you that you can also lock this controller down, especially this particular endpoint. Okay, the route, it has a normal route, so we need to go to this API route V1. There's a media static class, and there's the actual route for this endpoint. So contract web API V1, web API route V1. And we're going to focus on this static class called media, particularly on this constant variable of type string. That's the name of the variable. It has the base, the version number, and the actual. All this makes up the entire route for the endpoint. So let me pin this controller, and then it's publicly exposed, because it needs to be public in order for either mobile application, web application, Internet of Things applications, or desktop application in order to talk to it. So it returns HTTP action result. This is the name of the endpoint, and then we have this variable unique file name. Now I'm gonna go to generate class, they'll find this static method random file name. So it's generate random file name. So we need to go to help us, web API generate class. And then previously we were looking at this random verification code static method. Today we're going to look at random file name. So this is the algorithm to get the random file name. The length should be 5. I'm using the random object to get the name, right? Because it's returning the string. So that's what I'm going to have here, 5 characters. And then I have this comment that says the size for max content length should be 50 megabytes per file, for it to be uploaded. Please pay attention to this. I'll talk about this as soon as I'm done. And then I have a file size 40 megabytes. Again, pay attention to see where this has been used. And I have a try and catch block. Okay, if everything went well, the code is gonna only execute within the try, but if something's wrong, the cache is gonna execute. So we're gonna start with the line number 39. So I'm gonna say, listen, HTTP context, out of this current one, get me the entire request. Now, out of that request, HTTP request, I have access to what we call files. So I'm gonna use for each, because of files, it returns HTTP file collection. Right? So it's a collection. So I have to loop inside those files. Even though the mobile application it's uploading only one file, because I believe I told it to explicitly upload one file, but just lock it down. Because remember, web API is a type of project that can be also manipulated by tools such as Swagger and Postman. So you want to make sure that it's robust, not just for the actual clients to utilize, but the tools also meant to test it. So string file in HTTP requested files. Okay, I'm getting a specific file. On that specific file, I'm gonna get the entire variable here, the posted file, right? And then if it's not null and the content length of that posted file is greater than 0, then we get it inside. Else, if that's not the case, there's no file and the length is not greater than 0, then I'm gonna have this variable error message number 3, where I say the docs uploaded could not be processed, right? And then I'm using the return types. I have multiple return types. Okay, then I'm gonna talk about this return type because it's returning OK. The reason why I'm returning OK because I want to manipulate what's inside the body of OK. If you have any other thoughts on how I should approach this, please holler at me. But the intent of OK is to manipulate what's inside. And I'm strategic about the code, colon, and then this space. I'm strategic because the mobile application has to extract this using substring helper method. Okay, so if the file is null or the content length is not greater than 0, I'm gonna say, listen, this status code is gonna be 501 with that error message, right? So it's not implemented. So I'm gonna close this. By the way, in case that none of this works, something went wrong, we're gonna go to cache block, right? Still return OK, and then this is 500 internal server error, and then the error message is gonna be the message from the exception. Okay, so let's go back to the if statement. I'll talk about this again, why it's commented out and why it should be there. And I'm gonna get the extension out of the posted file, looking for the file name using the substring to say posted file name last index of everything after dot, give it to me, everything, and put it here. And then I was thinking that I should have a dot to lower right here and say dot to lower, but I'll refactor this at a later stage. So I have the extension in a lowercase. Okay, and then I'll come to read the notes in a second because there's a comment for me, read the notes. I'll take a look at this. Why is this commented out? Because I think at one stage, only once, it became problematic. But then I'm gonna have if statement and the else. If the content length out of the posted file is greater than the max content length, meaning that they suppose 50 megabytes, we're gonna return an error to say, listen, please upload a file up to, look at that, 40 megabytes. But that's the maximum, doesn't need to get to 40 megabytes. This also ensures that you cannot upload a video, you cannot upload a movie, you cannot upload a thing that's more than that size. It's very important. Defensive programming. techniques, and I'm gonna return this in the expectation field with 417 status code. And then, but if everything went well, we're gonna skip the if, we're gonna go to else, where we're gonna go to the custom file name. Remember the unique file name, 5 characters? We're gonna use this underscore, because I'm using string interpolation, to append underscore, and then we're gonna generate a new GUID, and then we're gonna add that file extension. And then now we have the custom file name. And then we're gonna go again with the file path to say, out of that HTTP context, current.server, you're gonna find the map path. So I'm saving the actual document on my current server at the moment, but I have plans to point them to Azure Blob Storage on Azure. So this is temporarily, but even though I have a folder called media, I'm sure you guys have been wondering this file media on the .NET Core is not checked. Here it is. It's not. It's checked in, but it's not being tracked. I believe, yes. But this is where I get to store them, like the uploaded docs. I want to go here and then upload the audios and then downloads. But there's a folder on my server in production where it's gonna be stored. So media, upload docs, and then the file name, and then that's where I save it. Okay, and I'm gonna return OK, because this is where everything went well, which is status code 200. Well, here it is, 200, and I'm gonna return. You see the message? I'm gonna return the actual URL, because I need to use string helper method of substring to get the file name. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Okay, and by the way, my mobile application is not only making use of .NET Framework Web API, but also .NET Core Web API. I just put in API.identical docs here, but I'll show this. Okay, so we are done. And once that is done, we're gonna come. Okay, why do we have else? Oh no, that's it. And then afterwards, it's gonna return this, right? Okay, what if? Oh, it's a for each. Or if there's no file at all, it's gonna say please upload a doc before you continue, which is error number 4. And then the status code is not found. You cannot find the file. So in a nutshell, this is the controller. I am excited. It's working great. I want to come to this, but before I do that, let's do a comparison with .NET Core. So controllers, v1, media, upload docs, not audios. Sorry, I'm looking for docs. See, it's practically the same thing, except in .NET Core, I have to mark the entire class with API attribute. I have to inherit from controller base. That's one of the difference. And then, it's perfect to show the difference also. Let's do this. Another thing that's different between .NET Core and .NET Web API, because you struggle in .NET Core and .NET Framework. .NET Framework is easy. .NET Core is problematic. But then again, in this case, I have to pass in this object iForm file, right? And it's an interface that represents a file sent with the HTTP request. Do you see this HTTP request? Sorry, that's exactly what I use to manipulate that. No, this is the context. Okay, yes, I'm getting the request. Yes, so I have to use this iForm file. Okay, this is the same. This is the same. This is the same. This is the same. And I check. See, I have a try and catch block where I say if iForm file that entire object is not null and iForm file.length is greater than 0, the same thing I have here. Okay, I'm just showing you the difference, and then I keep on using iForm file to get the name. Okay. Look at the status codes in .NET Core as opposed to .NET Framework. Look at this. Here I'm returning OK, right? And here I'm still returning OK, but I'm still using string interpolation. But look at this one, status code, and I have to pass in HTTP status code. This is too much. What's in .NET Core, I just now say status code. You see, it inherits it from this is something that comes from controller base, right? I just say, listen, it's 417.status code. I don't have to do all this nonsense. This is too much. So the core, it's much flexible in this sense. And then how do we save the file? It's quite different. So how do we save the file? Okay, there we go. When all is well, then we have that custom file name, and then now for the path, we need to use the path from system.io, combine, get the current directory, and then use media upgrade docs, and then pass in the custom file name. And then we're going to use the stream using new file stream file, and we're going to create it. And then this way we're going to copy to async, so it's asynchronous. That's another thing I forgot to show. This endpoint, it's asynchronous, by the way. This one I could not get to be asynchronous because there's nothing that qualifies it to be asynchronous, but maybe I should check harder. But this is asynchronous, which is one of the benefits of the .NET Core. And yeah, after that, then that's it. Basically, everything's the same. I wonder why this is complaining unreachable code detected. Where I did not return. Okay, so by in a nutshell, that's .NET Core. So let's talk about why there's a comment before I do a live demo. The reason why I did this series on version control, because this is when it comes in handy. I'm gonna show git history and git diff. Please watch this video. It's a fantastic video because now this is, I didn't do this prior, so I need to remember why again was this a problematic, because the idea was we're going to have the type of the file formats that we're expecting. There's the images, we need PDF, this is Word document, the old one, the new version. This is PowerPoint document, old and new. This is Excel document, old and new. This is Microsoft project document, and this is TXT, right? And then in here I want to use iList, where I say this is allowed extension, right? So these ones are allowed. And then here, if not allowed file extension that contains the file extension, we're going to return please upload file of type blah blah blah, or any of them, right? And I was going to return not acceptable. And then here I see read the notes. So it says I should read the notes. So let's go to again. Okay, let's go to web API. I don't know, read the notes. So let's do 2020. You see, now I cannot do this. But this is when a GitHub can help us. But I don't need to do that. I just need to do this. Right click. Because here I cannot search. No, wait, I can search. Is there a way where I may have a specified read the notes? Because I'm looking in one of those files. Nothing. Visual Studio. I've never used this feature. Well, my friend used to use it. Of searching globally. It's fine. But I'm searching. I want to search from here. But what I can do, you know, I can also use this to find. I love this feature of find. Find that in a not in a current project. That means I need to turn this to be a current project. Please be patient. I'm about to run it. Please be patient. I just want to justify this before we use the tools of version control. So find that in the current project, yes, find all. I use this tool more often, you know, and it's a fantastic tool, especially the replace. Unfortunately, there's nothing where, okay, cool. So the last resort, right click, go to get, view history. It will tell me, because I know why I'm doing this. Give it a second. It's still loading, by the way. Have you subscribed? Do you want to be kept in the loop of more juicy content that I'm gonna be dropping right after this video? Please do subscribe and click on that notification bell in order for you to be notified when I upload the video. This is video number 80. And I was thinking to myself yesterday that as soon as I start with the Xamarin, because I'm tempted to start it now, but I don't want to do it now. I just want to complete this, because this is very important. 3 more videos to go. This one is also going to be short, but this is a feature. It might be long, and this is the last one. It might be long, but this one is going to be short. So 3 more videos to go. We should mark this one as done because we're still busy with it while Visual Studio is still loading behind the scenes. Yes, mark. Yeah, so I was thinking that when I get to Xamarin, I'm sure that series is gonna be about 100 videos. Some of them want to be very short, but it's gonna be fantastic. I don't want to lie, it's gonna be fantastic. So this seems to be done. So let's see. The most crucial part of the system: change the endpoint URL of the docs, migrating to a new domain, rename the v1. Aha, here it is. I had to temporarily comment this part of the code out of the sake of the mobile application. This is the comment that we're looking for. View commit details. What happened? So I see this was on the 2nd of November 2020. Okay, what happened? Because there it is. This is how it used to be, and this is how it used to be, and this is how it used to be. So I commented the part out. Why? Why does it say for the sake of the mobile application? Oh, it says I should read the notes. So now we know where to focus. This is perfect. So we're gonna go to 2020. Hi. So we're in 2020. We're gonna look for November. There we go. Let's talk about this. I had to temporarily comment this part of the code out of the sake of the mobile application. What happened? Prior this, the only documents that were successful when uploading were from the SD card. Okay, because you can choose when you upload. Do you want to upload from one of the cloud services like OneDrive, Google Drive, iCloud, and others, Dropbox? Okay, and not from the local storage, but this provided a fix. So okay, prior this, we could only, looking at this guy, this I was able only to upload from the SD card. I just want to close some of these things. Close. We don't need this. Okay, we don't need this. So this guy says we're uploading from the SD card and not from the local storage. So but the local storage and whatever I did, it provided a fix for that, meaning that me having to comment this part out, I still need to dig deeper into this because I remember it affected the mobile application. This is interesting. Okay, so this is the goodness of version control, and this is the goodness of version updates, you know, where I leave comments for myself, and then this is what's Git history. Cool. So we are done with this guy, so let's go and run it. But I want to shut down Visual Studio completely because we are done. No, I don't want to shut it down. I want to show line by line. No, I don't need to show line by line. I just want to show, but I should. So let me use my phone. All right. I'm gonna do this live. So this is when I need to fire this guy. I think we are done with TXT file. We're gonna do voice messages tomorrow. So we have the image. I'm gonna upload it now. It's Firefox running. Okay. So now let's do this. Okay. Stay with me. I'm firing this project. This is .NET Framework, Twin1, MVC, and Web API, right? And then I want to fire Firefox in new private window of the same project, which is identical docs.co.za. Fire. This private mode, you please remember by this icon, it's for that, it's going to be for the administrator. Come on, this idiot. Seriously, fire. There we go. So I'm gonna log in as administrator this side. New admin, login. I won't be able to show, like, mirror my phone with the computer on the recording right now, but I'm gonna do it because my computer doesn't handle graphics enough to do that. So in here, the feature is called uploads because I am the administrator, right? So let's give it a second before I move to it. Okay, in total I have 145 entries. We'll come back to this. Now I'm gonna minimize that main. I'm gonna come back to this, but before I come back to this, I wanna show some of the screenshots from Google Play Store of my app. And then when I talk about who's gonna upload and who's who here, just to recap, but I did this in the previous video. This gentleman, I'm gonna give him name. I'm gonna name him Frank. This guy, he's the one. This is the traditional way of doing this now. Identical docs and now, because it's a mess. Okay, this image is early 2021. Okay, I think January. Yes. So this guy wants to have has a request of something to be either copied or printed out of. Copied or printed, whatever document he has, right? So typically will come with a stick and give him blah blah blah, the viruses and all that, you know, typical stuff, or long queues and all that, right? So this gentleman now can only receive a request using my platform. So he has an account, and then out of this account he has access to all of his businesses, and then he can generate access pin for one or more businesses in order to communicate with his customers or visitors, and he has access to documents that are uploaded. So there's the dashboard for the client. Okay, so there's only one from the previous video that we did, as you can see today, 1309. Right now is 251. So I'm gonna use some screenshots, and then I'm gonna show you where I'm at. So I'm unlocking my phone. It's on Wi-Fi because you need to be on the internet. But I'll show this what happens when you are not on the internet. Some defensive currently. Wait, it's on the spare screen. It's checking. I'm here currently, so I'm gonna click. I'm a customer or visitor. It's loading. It's checking for permissions. Let's give it a second. I'll tell you when the permissions are. Now the permissions are granted. I'm sorry I cannot show like mirror, but on my laptop I'm definitely gonna do this probably next week. And now I'm here where I get to see all the business first, where I'm at, and then I need to go and look for all the businesses. Yes, they are loaded. And I'm going to this one, Karishola Papers. So I need to go to Westin. I can see it is. Click on the pin, and there I see IGHQ. So I've just typed this, but in lowercase, and I'm gonna hit search. I just clicked on this search, and now I'm here. This is on my phone, and I'm gonna go to services. This is where I'm at, and then I'm gonna go to prices tab at the top, this one, and this one I'm at, and then I checked. Okay, this is exactly what I see on my phone. Okay, Frank supports printing for both color and black and white. Frank also supports copying color and black and white. Now I'm gonna go to uploads, and this is where I'm at, and then I'm gonna click at this guy, and I'm gonna get that photo we just took right now. Here it is. It's 4.19 megabytes, that image. Oh, it's big. Okay, and then this is where I'm at. I'm gonna do copying, but let's do printing, as it is printing. So we're gonna do black and white, and then I'm gonna do double-sided, and then I'm gonna do, wait, they're saying this image is not supported. I wasn't paying attention to this. Oh no, it is supported. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 documents. So I'm gonna do 6 documents. The price is 24 rand. So 6 documents is equals to 24 rand. And then I'm clicking upload. Yes, upload. It's uploading that image. 4 point. It says failed. It's vibrating. I don't know why, but it failed. File upload failure. It says could not be uploaded. Let me try it again. It doesn't want to. It seems like that document is big. Unfortunately, I cannot do that because. But let me do this. Let me take a screenshot of this guy. So I'm gonna do screenshot, yes, and then yes, here's a screenshot again. Printing, black and white, double-sided, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still 24 rand. Upload, yes, a success, and it generated this number, which is AV9BQ. Do you see all this? Pay attention to that. Okay, so we are done. So this is done. Now, if I refresh, you're gonna see the second entry here. Refresh. There we go. 2 entries. And this one, 1455, this is the guy. It's printing. This is the file type. Yes, it's available. See? AV, there we go. AV9BQ is 24 rand. It's pending. And when I get inside, so we can close this, we're done with it. So the store name is Karishula Papers. This is when it was requested and the time. There's a customer and it's 24 rand. And then it's printing the type of the service. Number of pages you see, 6 is double-sided, yes, the ink type black and white. And then this is what I'm talking about. Now the file name. Remember when I said we're gonna get the unique file name? It's only 5 characters. I hope you still remember. But I'm gonna use this custom file name to say 5 characters underscore. 5 characters. Then there's underscore, and then this is a go with from here all the way there. There's a go with and then the extension, exactly what we see here. Go with an extension, and the file type, we got the file type, and then the file state is available, and then the process pending, and then I can only do this completed as soon as I'm done. And then it says the customer, which is anonymous, unfortunately didn't request for a pickup as soon as it's done and have completed printing. So this is the client dashboard. Now the admin dashboard, minimize this. There we go. Admin dashboard. In total there are 145 entries, and if I hit refresh, this is a robust system, by the way. And now you can see there are 146 in total. And then I remember AV, there we go, AV9BQ. You see, I also have access to it as administrator. There it is. I can also search. I programmed this thing perfectly. I'm gonna get inside. So this is me, administrator. I can edit this, I can delete, I can cancel, I can check the actual file, the image, and I can check more information about this, the app ID, the things that the client doesn't have. I can check so many things. The business in which it belongs to Karishula Papers. And there we go, the business name, Karishula Papers, with that IGHQ that I used to search. There we go. So let's close this one. And then the actual image, if I click, it will show me the actual image, which is a screenshot of my phone. There we go. And this is what I just did. 1454. This is exactly what I just did. The name of the screenshot, you see, 2021 0902 1447. When I took a screenshot. And then this is the file type. Yes, it's supported. This is what exactly I was doing. Printing, black and white, double-sided, 6 pages, 24 rand, and I click this button. I can't wait to show this live. So it seems like the image failed because the image is a 4 4.19 megabytes. So it seems like it failed. And then if this is the case, I'm wondering why did it fail. I'm wondering why. Let me first log out of this. Close this. I'm wondering why it failed. Also cancel, log out. We are done with this guy. There we go. So why did it fail? Is it possible that this is the case? Because it failed. But then obviously I do not communicate why it failed. But I need to debug it live so I can know why it failed. Because I want to show with a live picture, but it's fine, it's big. And then there's no way that this is less than 4.90 megabytes. But this is what I'm all about. I want to improve the system. I want to know why it's working and why it's not working. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it to be informative as I did. I told you, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm gonna urge you to subscribe. This is good stuff. It doesn't exist on the internet. I do this because I'm passionate about IT. I'm passionate about programming. I'm a C# enthusiastic. Please check my LinkedIn account. I love what I do. Thank you very much. Until next time.